Say that with my mouth. Okay, let's start the meeting. We've had our public hearing. Now we're going to start our regular board meeting, which this year is in August rather than July, which we used to do and may do again in the future some point. So calling the meeting to order. The agenda is there. I do want to note that we will have an executive session at the end for a personnel matter. But with that, we should go to the normal routine. And my first question is always, is there any public comment? And we have a member of the public here.
Yay.
Anything you want to say?
Aw,
Okay.
thank you for coming.
So the next item is approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was in June.
If we have questions on it, send them out to everybody.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay. Carries. So Lynn, if you haven't said enough tonight,
Okay, we're gonna,
now we go to treasurer's reports.
okay, you have a report in your packet. The library finances are secure, in my opinion. We do have tonight, we'll be working on approving a budget to present to the voters. The audit will be later this month, audit, and we'll be talking about Phil's contract as well. So those are some pending projects. When you look at the off warrant, it looks high, but it's a 2-month off warrant because all of July was put on off warrant and then part of August as well. So you'll see that it details. I just want to draw your attention to 2 items on the off warrant. National Grid. This is hugely high. I mean, we did an assessment. We even called in, Jill even called in a consultant to look at our usage and our rate. The rate is up slightly, the usage is significantly up over a year ago. It seems so odd, like, I know it's been a hot summer, but really, this is June and July, not even.
So
August.
some of it is due to the number of hours that were open and the air handler unit being how much it's open, where it's not.
That's a
At
significant,
its most energy efficient phase right now.
what we've
However,
done,
it's still
yeah,
higher than, we still need to look into that.
what we've done since COVID started is we maximize the fresh air we can get in the building for the ventilation. And I'm pretty certain that's the factor.
At least.
We've turned off the factor here where we modulate the amount of fresh air in this space based on how many people are here. It's really measured by carbon dioxide. And we sort of turned that off, and all this real public gathering spaces were run by that. And we're just running full fresh air, and that's the cost. But
Yeah, so actually Dawn did a nice analysis. We took a look at it. It is up. The good news is the last bill was slightly less, but there was a huge jump, and then it's a little lower, but it's still 35% lower. So very high. And secondly, then we got our bill from the New York State unemployment insurance this journey. And as you know, we're self-insured, and we knew this was coming. It was paid out of operating contingency. I give you the total. We paid the first payment, $41.30, but then they pick up a portion of fee after 7 weeks. So our next final payment for her eligibility, of course, it could change if she gets a job, would be small, would be about $1,600. We expect if that comes, it will be coming more. It's a quarterly bill. But I wanted to draw your attention because it's an unusual charge, not one we anticipate. Nothing else was really out of ordinary other than that we changed to twin green and go $500 last month for fashion recycling. It's $91.28 less each month.
I'm seeing more of those canisters, pails out.
I switched to them.
I think we might
And-
have a call.
Got a year
Yeah.
free.
Well, you got a year free, and
Oh,
I
that's
know.
right, that's right.
Some people get a year free, and I got 3 months free when I did it. And the rate was 29 a month rather than the 40 something. But it's 2 years later, mine's right back up to the 40.
Oh,
So,
So any questions on the off warrant?
motion to accept the off warrant. Amanda? Mary, you can second. Any further comments or questions? If not, all in favor? Done.
The warrant, $12,701.13, divided out by account. Really nothing. So, Any questions on that?
Okay, motion to approve me to sign the warrant.
a second.
Check.
Shay was second.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Okay, as far as the P and L, the year is 59% over. The facilities line, if you look at the facilities expenses, they're just. Part of it is utilities, part of it is that we've had a lot of repairs this year. So we're just gonna keep taking a look and keeping our eye on things for that.
The contract maintenance is, you're saying is mostly the,
Contract
Maintenance
maintenance,
is like lawn,
right, but it's also our HVAC, so some of the percentage
Okay,
is
okay.
increased use, and some of it is when the bill falls, because it's
Yeah,
quarterly
okay,
payments.
yeah. okay.
We're buying.
and we just had a huge season seats bill.
That is 2 months.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night. Then, as far as the balance sheet, we look pretty, pretty good. We're 5% above where we were a year ago. Our assets are down, generally every month, we spend about 130,000. Our assets were down 259,000 in 2 months, so that's pretty much exactly where we would expect to see them. So, have anything specific to add on the balance sheet? Questions?
Okay, motion to approve the financials as presented.
Mary.
Okay.
Show.
Any further discussion or questions or anything? If not, all in favor? Anybody have anything else for Lynn on the treasurer's side? Obviously, we'll get to the budget later. If not, let's move on. Committee reports. We didn't have the committee, we did a budget thing, so I really think there isn't anything.
I don't have anything for service, so.
I think for Evan, so.
Okay. All right, Jill, the director's report.
Okay, summer reading is, well, it's almost over. We're more than halfway through. It's been really exciting in the library to see so many people here. I pulled a few numbers for you to date. You'll have a full end of summer report, but right now we have, as of today, 962 people have signed up and 427 are actively participating in the summer reading program, and that's all ages. So adults are reading books and children are reading minutes, along with all of the activities that they're doing. Adults have read so far 871 books. That's how many books that they have logged on and reported the actual book and gave a brief little summary. And kids have read 170,359 minutes, which is 2,839 hours, which is just really cute and sweet. And it's been really great because this is the first time really since the pandemic that we have seen everybody coming in droves into the library. And it's been busy all day, every day, particularly in the children's room. But I'm going to read you, if you don't mind, a few really neat surveys from the kids. One is from a parent, but one is from a kid, and I'm not going to read you everything, but just a little thing. So this one is a parent of a child 1 to 3 years. What did you like most about the program service? It gives me more incentive to read, but also gives ideas of things you can do, activities. As the parent, I learned that the library has so much more to offer than I knew. Just keep all these awesome programs and things for kids and adults to do, or even together. P.S. You guys are really awesome. Thank you for all you do. This one, I think, is my favorite one of all. This one is a child who's 10, and they wrote it themselves. So there's two parts of this that I'm going to read you the answers to 2 of these questions. One is, what did you like most about the program service? These programs make learning, reading, so much more fun. I liked doing the tween and teen for summer reading challenge. Reading and getting rewards and prizes made me really happy. Because of this, I went to the library a lot. I love it. What could the library do to help you learn more? I don't know. It was so great. And the library thought of everything underlined to educate kids and teens in a way so fun that it's impossible to stop. I have no idea what else to put or fix because everything is perfect. Your activities to badges to raffles, it was great. I just thought that was really cute. They're still at that age.
Right.
We're so positive and it was really great. So this is just kind of a sampling of, I went into the children's and said, Molly, okay, what do you have? Tell me something good about summer reading that's going on that we can share. She said, well, I'm going through these, right now. These are really cute. She showed me those.
The chickens were a big hit.
How were you following them?
Oh, yes. He brought me in there. He's like, look, Mommy, there's chickens. Then he asked Molly if he could hold one, and she said that.
We hatched chickens, and it was quite the exploit because remember the power outages? That was when they were actively hatching. So we lost a few, but we came in, we kept them warm, we kept, we had to keep them warm. And then also we had them outside and inside, so we were going like this and, with the temperature, trying to keep them hot and cold. It was a fun few days.
Wow.
But yes, the children loved the chickens and we had them live streamed so people could see them remotely, not just in the library.
I might have done that.
Yes. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. And the adult programming has been great too. I came in this afternoon in here and there were probably 13, 14 people around the table making miniature boxes out of old cigar boxes. They were decorating them and just having a really neat time.
Yeah.
I think people are just really happy to come together right now. I just seem really grateful to be here. a lot of energy this summer. A lot of energy. Do you do you have any questions about my report? Do you want me to go through anything else in my report? Okay.
No, let's work our way through the. Okay. Anybody have anything else for Jill? No, let's move on. Personnel memo. It looked blank to me, other than listing of open positions.
So it's a listing of open positions and then we did talk about this at the budget committee meeting. Just
Yeah,
the building maintenance worker hourly wage change, effective August 1st at $14.20 an hour. So I wanted to put that in there.
oh, that's good. Yeah, okay, so we do need to
We
approve
need
it.
to approve that.
Motion. Okay, Shen and Amanda. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Done.
Just ask for the minutes. Motion to approve
The personnel memorandum, which includes that includes that hourly wage change to be effective now rather than waiting for next year. Okay, that gets us to old business.
No,
And even though it has my name right there, I'm gonna push it right to Lynn. It
okay,
should be straightforward.
so we're gonna put it up there, Joe. I guess the question is, I did not hear any comments, so.
Not even from Frank.
Not even from Frank. We even had some nice things to say about the library.
Frank is a library super. He's a library user.
So,
I explained last year's question to him when he was going out, you know.
so, I guess
Well, I would say the thing is, I will entertain a motion to approve the budget that we presented tonight as the budget that we present to the voters a month from now, which that motion is, yeah, says 2,332,682. Somehow, Lynn, in the presentation, you made that 92, but
I did.
Is it 82?
it's 82 is what's written here, so I'm assuming that's what it is, which includes a tax levy in the amount, a tax levy increase.
This one is,
I believe it should say increase.
It's 82.
82
It's 82.
is what's written everywhere.
It's 82.
I think you just misspoke.
Yes.
It's absolutely.
But it includes a tax levy increase in the amount of 6% to be presented to the public for public vote Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
So I gave it back to you.
Hmm?
I gave it back to you.
But I think the word increase needs to be in there.
6%.
So you can take it right out of
Yeah, right over
Right.
the agenda.
the agenda. Just make a tax levy increase.
I think there's a typo on this sheet that's in our packet.
There is, I just found it.
So it's 682, right?
It's 82. There we go.
Okay, so Amanda, you did the motion, right?
Yes, it is.
Do I have a second? Okay, you guys fight it out. Okay, is there any discussion? Does anybody feel we should consider something different?
I'm just curious.
So, I mean, no matter what we vote to put out for budget, I'm gonna vote for it, I'm gonna advocate for it to, you know, stand as half of the screen work, so This is gonna pass, not gonna ask to have any recalibration or redo the budget, but I just can't vote yes for the budget. I recognize that we're gonna give it pass, and that's fine with me. I'm not trying to
Mhm.
be obstinate, I just have a
No,
problem.
you have to do what's,
Right,
In your
I want to
head.
press, I just want to make sure people understand that I'm not out there telling people, don't vote for this. I just have a different approach to it, so I'm gonna vote no, and it's not gonna.
but you have to do that. We go through that almost every year. And without people who present a different point of view, I don't think we'd be where we are today.
Yeah, no, it's.
They went
go
to
through.
cookie cutter.
So-
The dialogue, and I just, my school district experience was, I always wanted a 9-0 vote for the budget we brought forward. And we didn't, we had some different issues to discuss and things like that. I can't think of a year we didn't, so I feel awkward. That's my struggle, is, I recognize that there's value to a public looking at, for the handful of folks that look at the minutes of our meetings, right? I recognize the value of having a unanimous vote. But I just, so I'm just letting everybody know that.
Did you want anything in terms of why you can't vote no, or?
No,
I don't think at this
we
point,
discussed it.
we've had discussions, and I think at this point, it's
I
enough.
appreciate that. No, we've had our, our dialogue, and that's all, that's fine.
Okay, any other comments, questions, anything like that? If not, vote all to approve the motion. Favor? And opposed? Okay, that takes care of that. So the next thing. Liaison reports. I think we only have one liaison here, so. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Oh, I'm
I know,
sorry. You know what? Now I'm gonna go home. I feel bad.
No, it's not. That's all right.
You took me out of that thing,
You,
so it's
you
good.
threw me on that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, Charlie, you're first.
Friends, we're chugging along. The shed is filling up with books.
Wow.
Julianne got a good quote for the movers for October, so that's gonna be a good cost savings. It's a significant savings from the other company, so it's good. I think it's gonna help in terms of the overall profit from the October sale once we get it all scheduled and everything, so yeah, the volunteers are in there sorting, and appreciate the help that they're in there doing, and just chugging along.
They sort in the shed?
The shed is filling up. We've got an organization system in there for the different categories of books. So there's it's a lot tighter on the walls. There's pieces of paper that kind of just say, like, science and nature, poetry. So they're sorted easier, and the boxes are labeled. The boxes are uniform now. So it's going to make it, I think, way more efficient for bringing all the boxes out and then getting everything laid out in the rooms for the sale. So I think it'll help overall.
And the ongoing book sale is making
Yeah.
some money now, real money. It's over $1,000 a
That
month.
was smart.
Which,
Yeah, it's really.
Over 1,000 a month.
yeah.
Wow.
That's a book sale.
That's unbelievable.
That's one book sale, yeah.
That's fine.
We keep buying things all the time.
True.
It's really easy to, as you're running and scan the books that are there and someone catches your eye. It's
Yeah.
I think overall really good.
And part of, we have started taking the credit cards for the friends, the money at the end of the year, we'll write the friends a check or take it out of, we'll do like an official accounting of it, keep track of it every month. In QuickBooks, and so the money will go to the friends and then we'll ask for it. But I think that also helps significantly. It's much easier.
Yeah, and the square reader at the sales
Credit
was
card.
a big hit. I think
Yeah.
it's just easier for folks.
And the tote bags. they
Oh,
don't
so
do
back-
tote bags,
Yeah.
those are
those are
solid.
cool.
I'll read my report. There's no one else here.
Julianne, I think we need to give a shout out. to
Oh, yeah,
because
she is
in the library
amazing.
Almost daily.
Yeah.
She's the best
Oh.
stuff.
She's in there, she's sorting nonstop. And she's got a design oriented mind. It's awesome to kind of see her brain focus in on, laser in on a project and then just
Yes.
make quick work of it. She's really a rock star.
Okay,
Upper Hudson.
Upper Hudson.
So this email just came in from Tim, who's our executive director. We just received from the New York State Division of Library Development that the Upper Hudson Library System annual report for the last year has been finally and fully approved. This means that when the New York State funding is finally released for this year, there will be no local impediments for us to receive our allocated funding. As you know, the vast majority of the work on the report is carried out by Jana. So we were thanking her. She's due any day now for her baby. But yeah, so just having the annual report being approved by the actual New York State Division of Library Development. That's kind of big.
Number 2.
Yes, KB number 2. That was my big report. But, you know, it really is a great board. I'll just say as a side personal note, it really is a great board. We have a new slate of officers. So Antonio is
He moved on.
not, he moved on. So I don't know, it's just like, there's all the different personalities and, you know, it's definitely
Oh,
been a nice,
good board.
it's been a good experience.
Antonio sent me his book. He just published a book
Oh,
and he would like to come to a talk.
Yeah.
In the library. And it's about growing up
that'd be interesting.
in the South. Very,
Yeah.
Very fascinating.
He does have it. He
He's a
has little
great
snippets
storyteller.
that he'll disclose about his childhood. That'd be interesting.
Is there any talk on the training that they're supposed to?
I think whenever you all want to schedule it.
We had set it up. They hadn't organized it yet.
Oh,
And so we were sort of waiting to hear from them.
oh, from
Because
Kathleen? Oh.
you had the training through them.
Mhm.
And I wondered because, you know, whether we would,
Mhm.
was that for us and so on? And they said, well, they haven't quite organized that yet. So we told them which one we wanted, and I think it was the 4 sessions.
That was the 2. But we voted as a board for the 2.
I thought it was the 4.
I don't remember. Anyways. okay.
Whatever, we can look
Okay,
it up.
yeah.
But we had talked about, I have to look in my notes where we ended with that, what season we wanted to do it, but we had talked about wanting to get through budget, but
Yeah.
not do it over multiple. We
Mhm.
we wanted to do it sort of in one season,
In a fairly,
All right.
condensed.
so that it was meaningful and you didn't forget what you were learning.
Right.
So I don't know if we want to start that this fall.
Yeah, I could reach out
That's the
to
quiet
Tim
time
and.
for us as a board is the fall. That will also be, we're gonna be doing our community survey and starting to reach out to the strategic planning consultants. I think it would be a good time.
October.
So it'll be. an
Start in
in-person
October?
that they
Well,
come to-
I'm
It
gone.
won't be September.
I won't be here in September.
Okay. Okay, we can start in October. We put that in.
All right.
Maybe you can coordinate with them.
Okay.
Or you.
Mhm.
So you're coordinating.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Tim and then Mary. And then, okay.
Thank you.
Anything else regarding Upper Hudson? If not, new business.
I have a topic I was gonna raise, but I don't raise it from the treasury report regarding the energy bills. When I first got on board, we talked about solar panels and made arguments that at the time, you know, whether it was worth it or not, and also take them on, take them off. We want to examine that.
I think absolutely.
Right, because if it is that circulation issue that's driving most of this, we're not getting away from that for
Yeah,
years. right? You know,
I think basically it is now something that we need to look at, and, you know, especially with the new
Right.
thing that they passed, everything else and so on, I think it's something we need to explore.
Yeah.
And last time we looked at it, we were looking at a system that was similar to what the town put in down at the sewage treatment plant, where they rotate and so on and freestanding.
Yep.
And so we can look at that kind of thing again, or putting them on the roof when we replace the roof. We really, it's crazy to do it because that cost is all on. But I think it's definitely something that should be part of what we look at. Times have changed,
Yeah, no, I mean, that's,
you know, it was,
different conversation than the last.
Yeah.
one, so.
So would that be part of the building?
building condition
facilities?
survey,
Yeah,
that thing.
Well, I think there's also, you know, like, so every time a month, you know, these energy advisor people that'll come in and do an assessment and provide recommendations on heat pumps and solar panels and electric vehicle charging stations and all that. I don't know if you get those emails or phone calls, and I'm not sure how valuable many of them are, but if there is one that.
Well, we're meeting with the engineering firm next week. I need to change from Monday to Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm gonna be out of town again Monday and Tuesday. But we're meeting with the engineer primarily with that backflow preventer issue to start out with. But I think we should talk to them about, okay, where's the standard now? What should we do? What should we consider and so on? And how do we go about it? Do we go about it, we put it in and own it? Or do we let someone come in here and they put it in and we still pay, but supposedly at a reduced rate, you know, the various ways they got out there.
There is another option of, you know, they have these farms, solar
These farms and we
that you
buy
right, you know,
Buy
so
the
not
farm,
on your roof, but you get the benefit.
yeah.
So we're looking into that right now already. There's an energy savings, you know, that they call it all the time. So they went in and benchmarked us and did, you know, looked at our bills and essentially have said that our savings potentials right now are the biggest potential is energy efficiency, although they didn't realize that we had already updated our heat pumps to become energy efficient. And, you know, half of our lighting is LED and half of it is not. So there is some piece there that I'd really like to figure out the energy usage a little more detailed, but that may not be totally
And-
accurate.
And the half that is a retrofit.
Right,
Ultimately, we probably want to go to a full,
a full LED, which would cost significantly. more
which will
than
cost
this.
a chunk more. So,
More than
but
this
the
is
reality is,
efficiency.
it's the way, ultimately where you have to go.
Right,
What we did is the retrofit was mostly just replace the tubes with tubes that had LEDs and the little transformer and stuff, and still use the ballast, which is a transformer in the light fixtures. And those fail. We've had several fail. And to replace those it's an energy waster to some extent and a cost every time you got to replace one of those. So long-term, that's something I would look at.
Is that something that could go in a construction grant?
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So trying to gather the information to be able to start the conversation.
But
about-
I still, with the solar panels, I would like to investigate. You know, a lot of these people come to you, they're making most of the money. You get a little bit back. I've had friends who've had people come put it on their house and yeah, and they're still paying energy bills. You know, significant energy bills at times, but they're saving money over what National Grid would be. But all the tax rebates and all that stuff just go to the companies that put them in.
Well, we're not really eligible for a lot of those tax rebates anyways, because we are already tax exempt. So they're rebates.
But there may be, Bill, there may just be money for, I mean, I have seen.
Money to put it in.
Money for
Construction grant.
Construction grant money, you know,
Yeah.
money just says, I mean,
Yes.
you're going to get more savings if you
So-
do that for the office buildings and public buildings and
Yes.
housing.
So we have to look into it.
So they're estimating between 10 and 20% savings with solar.
Who's they?
Sustain.
It's just a. Staying with the need.
It's
Every
just,
month, you'll 10 to 20% on savings on your monthly bill.
Should be $300.
So 3,600, 7-year payout, like a $25,000 system.
I would think our system would be bigger than that.
Yeah. My roof was up to 9,000. For a house. 1,000.
If I looked at it in a relative sense, yeah. But I don't know. I haven't done any research on that in years, so.
and we can also investigate the wind.
Ooh,
Well, I was looking at putting one of those in up at my house, and even up on top of the hill, it's not considered a super windy zone unless I put 100-foot tower in it. I don't think East Greenbush would like
I
that.
was gonna say, I
It's a
assume that
windy
the
zone
town
right
will
here.
have-
Right here, you don't have enough wind.
Oh, yeah.
And they also make noise.
Are they loud?
Well, yeah, if we did a real one, like, you know.
Because we've got that hill back there that really. there's not
Okay.
like that.
So I think, Shay, that's something we need to put on the list as part of what we do. I've been thinking for a couple of years now that's,
Can I bring up sort of related to that?
yeah,
Maybe not related to that. I mean, we talked about a month ago, I guess it's not even really officially new business, but the idea of bringing in this person to do the whole building assessment that kind of gets to your really valid point. We should not just have a generic reserve fund, but we should say, okay, in
This
this
year,
year, we expect to do this and this, and this is how much it's gonna cost, and have that engineer or whatever. Where do we go with that?
well, Shay, you should be familiar with them with the school district, the building condition surveys that the schools have to do every 5 years. I would just model something after that and get somebody to come in here and do basically that for this property.
so what would something like that cost?
Well, I don't know. I've been out of the business now for over 6 years. Architects used to do those as lost leaders, figuring they'd get the work afterwards, and they did them for pennies a square foot. I have no idea what it is now.
Santa Rubin district, that's Santa Rubin got
All the work.
all the work.
Although I thought the building condition surveys, I did the building condition survey 2 or 3 times for the school district.
I think Santa arranged it. Had it.
Okay, so they've shifted now in
Yeah.
how they do it, because back when I was involved, I actually
Right.
took the lead on that, did the whole thing.
Right.
Santa Rubin was in there helping me with the pricing,
They presented it the last time. we did
didn't
it.
they?
So
Okay.
that's what
So,
I think,
yeah.
whatever that shift is, but,
Would Gilderland, didn't Gilderland Library just redo a whole, would they maybe? Would they-
So, I mean, I think I've been through a building project and you've managed how many building projects? I'm just curious about, because a facilities plan like that in a library of that size, they're probably spending $25,000 to do something like that. I mean, we've been talking about, we've been spending $6,000, $10,000, like,
Mhm.
where are we?
You
going
are
with
gonna
this?
spend some money. So, but the thing is to get,
Exactly.
we gotta get a couple proposals. Find some people who are interested and get a couple.
Because that's the whole point. part of the reserve fund is to know what are we looking at? Because I guess I would really like that. And, personally,
Well, it's the right thing to do.
So do we look at doing that for 2023?
Yeah.
Are we
Oh, I think so.
saying that that is something that we need to find money in the budget to do?
Oh,
We're thinking that.
I'd say take it out of reserve because I mean, the
It would.
assumption is most of everything.
it
in
will
our
come out of
budget is
reserve.
capital.
This is where I have my issue with what we're doing now, because we're running across things and we're saying, okay, take it out of reserves. Well, we didn't budget it last year, so a year ago, we didn't budget it, so we can't, but we'll figure it out.
Well, how, when was the last time? Has there been one in the time? of the
Facilities.
building?
No, because the building was always looked at as new.
So maybe put it through her as a one-time, hey, look, for the sake of the integrity of the building, we're gonna use some of her funds.
I was gonna say
It's a
that. Yeah.
possibility.
That's okay,
I know it's all in the same.
Yeah,
But
it's the,
still.
yeah,
And then whatever
that's a possibility.
expenses could come out of the reserves, like whatever we have to actually try to do. Yeah.
But I would just like to know, because I do think that that's a much better way to budget. Say, we know that we need a new roof.
Yeah.
but we don't know when we need next
I know,
year.
but
And
assuming-
see,
I know, but.
my feeling is I wouldn't spend the money until you have to spend the money.
But you could budget it.
Yes, you budget
If you
it. Oh, you
anticipate-
absolutely know what you need to budget, yes.
this is where I think email I sent, whenever Sunday night, Monday night, about keep the reserve fund below some imaginary threshold that you have in your mind by knocking off. You know, if it's not the roof, then, okay, hey, spend 100K on X, right? And
It's closer.
that way, you know, I mean, I would say, don't, I mean, a different philosophy of not building up to repeat it. I would knock off things so that you don't.
I think the exterior skin in the building.
Let's do that first.
That has to happen this year, 23. And we should start
Now,
moving forward with it now.
Can I bring up another piece of new business?
I was going to.
Now that we are meeting in public and people are coming into the library, are we obligated to have recorded meetings, or can we go back to just our live meetings? So public member who chooses to participate, they're here. And just like our bylaws state, we're here. Whoever's- board members must be present.
Are you saying take away the motion? People to attend?
No, well, I
We can't even
think
do
we
this
need
by
to discuss it. I think we could still have that option of board members attending remote. It's just we don't YouTube it out to the world.
I think if we do that, I think the way the open laws,
You can't do one without the other.
the way that's written.
Really? Okay.
Well, the way that it works is that wherever the remote location is, has to be announced so that anybody from the public.
And you can still do that. The only thing I'm saying is that what we've done, and I don't care who hears it, but when Jill told us a week ago that every whisper here is heard and obviously potentially discussed in the big black universe of the internet and is there forevermore, who knows how that can come back to haunt you at some point. We go through a process here now of having a meeting. We take notes, we review the notes, we correct the notes. Here, whatever utterance comes out of your mouth is permanent record. That's it. You live with that for your life. And I don't know, I guess I'm old enough. I know I misspeak at times. And I'd like to have the option to correct it and have the true record be correct.
So if it is the open, I mean, I do believe you're right, because I think that's why our bylaws say you must be present.
So, well,
Because before
that's
COVID, if I was sick, I missed the
good, you missed
meeting, and that's the way it is. And I could actually live with that again. Side thing. I just think that I feel more comfortable. The face-to-face meeting with if a public member wishes or a staff member wants to be part of it, I like the fact that they're in the room
and make the effort to come.
and they're part of it.
I disagree. I would much rather have the public option because not everybody can get to the library for the meetings. They may want to see what's going on. You want younger people involved, they're gonna be doing technology related things. They're gonna watch from home. They're gonna want to learn from what's going on here. And for the sake of transparency, I have no qualms about recording what we're doing at the meetings. So I would disagree with taking away the remote option or live stream.
Right, and I mean, my response to that would be, but they can read the minutes. I mean, it's not as if it's been hidden. I mean, the minutes exist just as they always did. So anybody could read them. Call any of us if they had questions about it. I hear what you're saying.
Do we have any way of knowing how many people actually take advantage of?
YouTube keeps count.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if you
Try to look it
pull
up right now.
if we went on and pulled up anything, it would say who we views or what.
We know if the town
Town
live
live
stream.
Town does it.
Town live
And
stream.
the district has moved to live stream through COVID. all the way.
But through COVID, did COVID push them
So
out?
after, I'm saying after, COVID got them to do that, and now it's.
And it may be, but that's
Mm.
just the way it is.
And I guess I'm showing my age.
31 views of our June board meeting, 5 views of our public hearing so far.
That's 31 people who couldn't make it.
Right.
For some reason.
Well-
Be here.
31 of May, so the same people, probably. 30 in April, 18 in March.
But, you know, my issue is with, I mean, we had 4 people sitting here today and there was interaction. So, and you heard it, it's all feedback. The YouTube viewers are these anonymous people out there. And who knows what happens to them. And it probably is a generational thing. And I'm 99% certain that that's where it'll ultimately be. But I don't know that I want to be a part of it.
So is there an action out of this, or we?
Yeah.
What is it?
You can
Think about.
think about it.
Do we need to know something? Do we need to know?
I think we need to
if
clarify
clarification
that
or-
with meetings law to
I
make
mean-
sure that we can remove the remote option. Like if we decide to remove the remote option, that we're not violating the law.
From what I did, what I saw, the only thing I did see was if it's offered remotely, that has to be publicized so that anybody from the public can also attend from that remote location. And then the other stuff, like us coming to the meetings remotely, I think that was the, COVID related.
So one thing we don't have to do is we don't have to live stream. We could
You could record it.
record it and then post the recording. So it would be a Zoom meeting or a go-to meeting where people join in that way and you know who's joined in.
I like that option because I think there's engagement that happens. Whether, I mean, okay, so you can't make the meeting, you miss it, but we have it available through the website, the library website. Watch the meeting, it needs to be delicate editing of certain points, we can edit them, I guess, although I don't know. if
I don't
that's-
think you can.
I don't, yeah, I'm not.
You're probably
with it, but I mean,
But somebody has to, it's a different effort. If you then go and dig in, look it up and look at it, than just the live stream being out there.
I mean, you still have to go find it
Yeah.
and look
Yeah.
for the East Greenwich Library YouTube and then find and follow and subscribe to get the, so it's same number of clicks basically, but same result.
Theirs would be live versus post.
I mean,
Recording, post.
right. I think I can see it being done either way, but I do think in terms of transparency, everybody's doing it right now. It doesn't mean we have to do it. Legally, we don't have to. I see what you're saying about something being on the web forever.
That's true.
That could be it, and that is very true, which is why I, brought that up. Reminder if we're having a side conversation,
Well,
You know?
it scared the hell out of me, so.
right? But I think that's something we have to be aware of at all times, everybody should be professional in meeting.
Well, yes, I try to, but I also tailor my speaking to the audience that's in the room. And, the feedback. I also look at the people's and see the body language feedback that I'm getting, all sorts of stuff. Here, it just goes out into the black hole, and there is none of that. And you don't know when someone may take offense at something that you said, or when 20 years from now or 10 years from now, something that you said all of a sudden, which may not be offensive today, will be offensive at that point. And it comes back to haunt you. I think the younger generation, honestly,
I don't think you're saying
That's
anything
right.
offensive. I think our meetings are pretty professional.
I
wouldn't
know,
worry
but
about
I'm
that.
Yeah.
but you'd never know.
But that's just the reality of the way the world
I
is
mean,
now.
Quite honestly, I'm old enough that early in my career, guys told dirty jokes at the office that would get them fired today. And if somebody goes back and that's all recorded and so on, who knows what happens to them today?
I don't think we are.
It's an extreme sort of example, but
Yeah.
To me,
Can we think about it?
absolutely. Absolutely. It's a new thought to put it out there, but I just find it very uncomfortable if I have to be so conscious about every word that comes out of my mouth, because that's the spoken record. And 9 times out of 10, anything I write, I edit. Even every email I send is edited before I hit send. And for me, it's a huge change.
So what are we're going to think about this?
We'll think about it. We'll
And also, I
talk
think
about it
this,
next month.
it sounds like this would be a good, we have some trustee training too. This would be a good thing to talk about. Meetings and what should meetings run like? What's an appropriate meeting in this day and age of information overload? It's everywhere. Do we want to be a part of that? Is that the most effective way to get our message out? Because really, we want people to engage with the library. Is it through that? Is it something else? We want to encourage people to come in and be saying, come into our meetings? I don't know.
You sound like Father Walsh at St. Pius. Because they started the live streaming their masses, obviously during COVID, and now they have YouTube, and he wants it to go out. He wants to reach as many people, obviously, as possible, to get the message out. People that are just searching Catholic Mass, he's hoping they'll click on the YouTube of one of their masses. So maybe, I don't know, it's different, it is different, because people are seeking, they're seeking a mass, sometimes, if they miss it, blah, 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 they want to go something like.
It's a pretty.
But do we
rehearsed-
want, this is an intimate group that we have, and although the information is public, I really can see it both ways. That's why I kind of want to think about it.
I think it's intimate because we don't have a lot of people show up.
No, I know, right?
Because you can go to, town district. has,
Yeah. Mhm.
Certainly more, attendees, which, it definitely can, influence whether you're gonna say something. I mean, when we had the discussion, BOCES went to, took one of the Jewish holidays away because they had to balance out all the school districts, the 22 school districts in West BOCES, and the news stations and the contingent of Jewish families came to a meeting. I made the comment that it's a zero-sum game. There's so many days you have to have, you know, and that did not sit well. But, you know, and my comment was, we can all, you know, we will have the Muslim holiday Eid. I know I'm not saying that right. You can have somebody come and say, you should have, what is the African American?
Ramadan or
Kwanzaa,
Kwanzaa.
right? Somebody come in and say, hey, we have a Christian holiday for Christmas, right? So we're, you know, so I don't know if I would have said anything different because it's true, but when you have 40 people plus news cameras, it's different than.
When you got 10 people.
Right.
But it shouldn't, but really it shouldn't drive any different. It shouldn't drive any different. You know, behavior in conversation, but in reality. it does.
But, yeah, because of people and the way we are.
I think what it does is we can't have conversations about how your vacation, all those conversations.
Right.
Yeah, it has
The
to be.
board conversations are fine. That's all above board. So do the other
Well-
conversations before you go live. You turn off and you know, you have socializing before and after, but not during the meeting.
We're doing break. I mean, like, you can take like a, you know, 10-minute break, hey. step
Shut
back,
everything
or
off.
whatever, right? If you can say, okay, then things like that. And then, I mean, 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Right, as long
And
as it's not official business. You can't talk about the library. Right, without it being a formal meeting. I hear you, but we're not.
You
can't
can read
miss
my lips.
the-
No, that's a topic that
Yeah.
in this group we would discuss and talk about as we sit here now. But going out there, you don't, there's things you don't necessarily want to be out there as an internal discussion.
This is a. And so they can't. be
Well,
internal.
yeah, but it,
Or
again, it's
internal
contract
discussion is
related.
Executive session, you don't. Executive session or.
Oh, is that what you're trying to say?
Part of it.
Yeah.
Something you don't.
That-
No, not
That's-
that. No, it wasn't that.
Oh.
It's going to contract.
Oh, yeah, well, that would be an executive session as well. There are certain things you can go into executive session to discuss.
So beef up when you use executive session. You
Yeah.
get a bigger utilization of the executive session provisions
Right.
than it seems like you have now.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody have anything else before we head into executive session?
I just want to ask, so in the minutes, do I want to put a follow-up for this in terms of when we'll?
Is it committee discussions or is this a board?
I think it's a board discussion.
So the next board,
I mean, yeah,
business. Let's cover.
okay. Anybody have anything else for the regular meeting? If not, can we go into executive session?
Motion to go into executive session.
Yes, second. Amanda,
You have to make a motion with why you're going into executive session.
to discuss a personnel matter.
Right, yeah, right on the agenda.
Okay. All in favor? Okay. So we're done.
Okay, so I